All right, through the magic of technology, we have got people all over Orlando on this show. I'm calling it an Ask the Expert All-Star Show put together by Andre Bustamante, and he has called out everybody. This is kind of like calling out the troops. Thank you, Andre, for doing that. He is set up at the home show, and he's got a great group of people down there with him that kind of reflect the Andre Bustamante Power Network, I call it. You're not just getting a realtor, you're getting somebody that can plug you into inspectors, lawyers, home decorators, stagers, you name it. That's where Andre brings to the table. And right now he is sitting with a whole bunch of people, including Wade Boyette. So, welcome to the Andre Bustamante Show. And it is powered by GuaranteedSale.com. Free home evaluations in under 30 seconds. Let's see, Best Orlando MLSsearch.com. And, of course, our very good friends at Fidelity Title. Don't forget Andre. 888-785-0440, AndreBustamante.com. That's with a Y, 888-785-0440. Co-starring on the show today is going to be our very close friend, Wade Boyette. So we're doing 2 hours back-to-back. Wade Boyette is from the BCN law firm, Boyette, Cummins, and Nalos, and he brings an awful lot to the table, and his company is so community-connected. You can always get a hold of the BCN law firm at Law 2020, 855-LAW-2020. And I understand that Andre has also surrounded himself with a lot of other people. Now, if you're at the home show, go up. We've got a microphone for you. They'll hand you the microphone. You can ask them any question about real estate or the law or mortgages. It is everything goes these 2 hours. It's going to be a lot of fun because if you're going to buy a home, you probably need to make sure that you've got an attorney on your side. Wade and I talked about that last week on the BCN law firm. So, guys, how we doing this morning?
We're doing fantastic, Rob. Pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for joining us. And definitely talk about technology. It definitely helps to be able to have you in two places at the same time. So we appreciate you being live with us here today. And Wade, thank you so much for joining us on such short notice. It's a pleasure having an attorney, obviously, of your caliber. And we'll be with everybody here live for the next 2 hours.
This is wonderful. I appreciate you having me here. It's a great way to spend a Sunday.
Absolutely. So we've actually been out here for the past 2 days, and folks, we invite everyone to come out. We still have, I believe, some free tickets. So if anybody wants those, feel free to call. We'll give out a phone number here in a few minutes where you can get some free tickets. If not, it's only $10 here at the Orange County Convention Center. Feel free to join us. We'll be live here for the next 2 hours. And we'll try to twist 96.5 WDBO's arm, see if they could stay here for a couple more hours. But we will be here all day until 5 p.m. to answer any of your real estate questions, title questions, homeowners insurance questions, lending questions, real estate law questions. I mean, we're privileged to be here with all of our partners. So I'm going to run down and just give thanks to all of our partners that made this possible. We have Leslie Zimmerly with Oliver and Quinones. So for all your real estate closing solutions, they're the company that's actually sponsoring this event here at the Home and Garden Show. So we want to do say thanks to Lou Oliver and Leslie. Leslie is here to answer any of your title questions. Obviously, Wade Boyette, I mean, what an awesome resource. I've heard your shows dozens of times. Once I leave my show, I leave the station on, and any real estate law question, you name it, Wade is a great resource for that. We want to thank our partners with RP Funding, Robert Palmer. He's actually co-sponsoring the booth with us. Our friends at PJM, we have Mike here with us today, so we'll actually bring him on the show here shortly. John Tankersley with FIS for all your home and automobile insurance needs. And we also have some of our buyer and listing agents here with us today from my team, the Andre Bustamante team. So,
wow,
Wade, Rob, let me know if we have questions there. Let's open up the phone lines for anybody. And we have such a dynamic panel today that we'll take anybody's question right now.
It's like at the home show, folks, you hear that all these people are there from all these networks. Well, we got the biggest network of them all right down there today, and it's free for the asking at 855-297-9696, 855-297-9696. You could text 21232, 21232. I did get a text on my line and not the Mo Greet, and they want to know, Andre and Wade, What is the difference between a title and a deed? They don't seem to understand the difference between the two.
Wait, do you want to knock that out, or do you want to bring Leslie up here to handle that?
We can handle that. A deed is the instrument that's going to be used to transfer title. A title is actually the ownership. The deed is the instrument that's going to convey ownership. So usually when you're talking deed, there's various forms of deeds, from warranty deeds, quitclaim deeds, general warranty deeds. Title is just how you're going to own the property.
Okay, and when you said quitclaim deeds, that often comes up in divorce situations, does it not, Wade, where somebody says, okay, you're going to get the house, all we need to do is sign a quitclaim deed, and what's entitled in that? What do you do to get that legal?
Well, a quitclaim deed is just one way of transferring ownership, and what that means is you're only transferring the ownership that you have, the title that you have. You're not warranting title. So a quitclaim deed, you're just telling the person that you're transferring title to that you're just transferring them the ownership that you have in the property.
And would you suggest that at any time that they come to an attorney to go through all that, and maybe a couple of other people chiming in to make sure that every I is dotted and every T is crossed?
Whether it's a buyer or seller, I recommend that they come in and talk to someone who understands real estate, an attorney, a licensed real estate agent. They can go in to understand the types of ownership. A lot of times, someone will think that if they're a buyer that a quitclaim deed's okay, and they don't understand that this person who's transferring title to them is not warranting title. If I'm representing a buyer, I would prefer to see a warranty deed over a quitclaim deed.
Okay, and one of the questions too that led into this was they want to know, okay, let's say husband is John and the wife's going to keep the house. So he comes down, does a quitclaim deed maybe without benefit of an attorney, and all of a sudden when she can't make the payments, the bank comes after him.
Yeah, and that wouldn't affect, again, a quitclaim deed is only ownership, how ownership is transferred, and what you're warranting regarding the title. Mm-hmm. So that would not affect it in that situation.
Okay.
Rob, really quick, I want to make sure everyone knows we're actually going to be giving away, we're doing a drawing here during the show for a free iPad. It's like at least a $500 iPad. That was actually donated to us by Robert Palmer at RP Funding. So we encourage everybody to come out to the Home and Garden Show. We will also be drawing for a TV. So it's a beautiful 40-inch plus TV. So we encourage people to come out. We also have a raffle wheel out here. You can win some cool prizes, gift cards, and all sorts of cool things that we're offering through our real estate company. Free home inspection, free appraisal, all sorts of things. So we encourage people to come out. We will be doing the actual drawing in about 20 or 30 minutes here towards the later part of the show. Let's give out the numbers so if people have questions, they can call into the show.
And we do have one right now, but I also want to ask you, while we're lining up Jim here, he's got a great question, but here's the deal. Tell us where you are at the home show so people can come by and meet you and Wade and the entire team you put together down there. You got everybody down there. You got half the experts in the station down there. So where are you exactly located?
So we're at booth 165 and 167 towards the concession stands. So if folks look up, you'll see section 100. We're towards the front of the convention on the north concourse.
And what's the coolest thing you've seen at the home show besides the experts around you?
There's a cool little machine that shakes the hell out of your body.
What?
It's supposed to be a workout machine. I don't know about that.
You're in fine shape, Andre. You're in great shape. You don't need to worry about that. Nor does Wade.
That's what I try to tell my wife. I'm not 50 pounds overweight since I got married.
Well, that's her good cooking. That's what I hear. Hey, Jim. You're on the line with Andre Bustamante, Wade Boyette, and a team of folks from a lot of great companies, including RP Funding. That's right, the Saving Thousands Network. And go ahead, Jim, with your question.
Okay, I got a house that my ex-wife has when we were in Texas, and I did a quitclaim deed where she owns the house, but the house payments are still in our name. If she moves or defaults on the loan, what happens to me?
Okay, and that has nothing to do with the fact that you have a quitclaim deed. Did you sign the mortgage?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and that's why you're obligated to pay, is whenever you and your wife sign the mortgage. Now, y'all are divorced, is that correct?
Say again?
Are you divorced?
Yes, we are.
Okay, and you're still, during your divorce settlement agreement, did she agree to take the house?
She agreed to take the house. And then I signed it. I think it was a general deed. I think it was.
Correct. What happens is you transferred ownership to her.
Right.
Unless you get the bank to release you from the mortgage, you're still obligated on the mortgage. In a lot of divorce settlement agreements, the spouse usually agrees to refinance the house so that you get relieved of that obligation. Unfortunately, with the real estate market the way it was a couple of years ago, it was really hard to get refinanced. So you may still be on the underlying debt. You may still be on the mortgage. I would encourage her to refinance it so that you are relieved from that liability.
We appreciate your question, Jim. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
and
Jim.
don't forget, folks, we're actually here live at the Home and Garden Show at the Orange County Convention Center. We'll be here live on the air for the next 2 hours, or hour and 45 minutes or so. But we invite everybody to come out. We'll be here until 5 p.m. today. There are tickets are $10 at the door. We still have some tickets available. We'll try and get a phone number here that you can call in, and I'll actually have some of my team members at the door and get you guys in for free. Not sure how many we can get in, but we'll get some. My website, AndreBustamante.com. If anybody's in the market to buy or sell a property, we'd love to help you and your family. It's been great here, Rob and Wade, because a lot of our audience is here. So it's been fantastic, getting comments like, hey, listen, I hear your show every day, or every Sunday, actually. And it makes you feel nice knowing that it's for a good cause.
Well, I love you guys. There's no doubt about that. It's so great. And Wade's email is bcnlawfirm.com, bcnlawfirm.com. You can always reach them at 855-LAW-2020, 855-LAW-2020. And Andre, 888-785-0440. We'll chime in with some of our guests that you've got down there in the booth. And don't forget, if you're heading to the home show, go down that 100 aisle and grab the microphone and ask them a question in purpose. You can also call here, 855-297-9696. Here's 3 big things you need to know. It's an all-star Sunday. You think the NFL's got it going big, that big game tonight with all those pros in that thing they call the Pro Bowl. I think I can say that. We just can't say the other word. Anyway, by golly, we've got our all-stars, everybody, I think, down at the Home and Garden Show at the beautiful Orange County Convention Center. It takes up a great deal of space. And in the 100 aisle, there you got your Andre Bustamante, and he has put together an army of people, including one of our great friends, and that is Wade Boyette. So it's a combo 2-hour show with the Andre Bustamante Show and the BCN Law Firm Show, and they've got a lot of very, very, very learned people down there to answer your questions in person, or you could give us a call at 855-297-9696. That's toll-free, 855-297-9696. You could text us at 21232, 21232, and, of course, you can use that open mic feature on your News 96.5 app. You use it all week, don't you? You can use it on the weekends to ask a question of our panel. And I know Andre's got a lot of people down there that he wants to talk to. We're back here in the studio. I miss you guys. But go ahead, and Andre, what do you want to cover in this 5 minutes we've got remaining in this half hour?
Well, in this segment, again, I just want to thank all of our sponsors. We're getting ready to introduce Mike from PJM Home Inspections. But, obviously we also want to thank the rest of them. It's a shame that Robert Palmer is actually in New York and he couldn't be here with us today. But we have Shannon, one of his top loan officers, here. So if anybody's looking to buy, sell, refinance, do a quick claim deed, add anybody to title, if they have real estate questions, wills, you name it, home inspections, appraisals. We also want to thank AccuShirt Appraisal Management, before I forget. He's also helping us here. So anybody that's interested in knowing the true value of their home and is willing to spend $300 or $400 to get an appraisal, at the end of the day, folks, your home is worth what a buyer is willing to pay, and they're only going to pay what the home appraises, so why not start there? So we do want to thank AccuShirt Appraisal Management Services, Brian Watkins. Check them out at AccuShirt.com. But the rest of the team is here, folks, so we encourage everybody to come out. But let's get Mike on the lines. Mike, thank you so much for joining us, and he's with PJM Home Inspections. How are you?
Good morning, everybody. It's nice to be here at the Convention Center.
It's fun, right?
It's a happening place. I'm surprised this place is not closed by the fire department with thousands and thousands of people here yet.
No, wait till about noon or 1 o'clock,
God, yes.
and it'll be there. It'll be insane. So, again, let's give out PJM Home Inspections contact information real quick. If anybody's in the market, we find a lot of our sellers actually go to PJM and get their home inspections done before they ever call us. So that's always nice, and they do the same thing nowadays with their appraisals. It just makes our job that much easier. So what's the best contact information for you guys?
You can reach Paul directly on 321-228-3848. We answer the phone 7 days a week.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Now, what's going on in you guys' world right now? Are you guys staying busy?
We are incredibly busy. As a company, we do over 1,000 home inspections, 1,200 home inspections a year. We have a large team under the PJM banner. We specialize in infrared. We specialize in 203K. We do wind mits. We're a full-service home inspection company.
Fantastic, and we use you guys exclusively for the most part on our home inspections. Honestly, I've been in the business for 10 years, and it's hard to find such a knowledgeable, transparent, and just overall great company like yourself. So thank you so much for everything that you guys do. I got a chance to see Paul in the office earlier in the week, and he told me, he's like, you guys are working around the clock. Market-wise, we've seen it. I mean, December was somewhat slow, market-wise, but then things, picked up the first, second week here in January. It's been awesome.
December was slow for us. We actually got 1 day off a week.
Oh, wow.
So we're very pleased about that. We're hoping.
And that was slow.
That's slow. 1 day off a week, and that was Sunday.
I know you guys are working like 7 days, so you probably cloned yourself by now. So let me know the recipe for that. I can clone myself, leave one at home to spend time with my wife, and then I could have one that works around the clock.
I thought I saw you once in 2 separate sides of the room at the exact same moment.
No, that's Rob. That's Rob. So we have a lot of folks actually standing here. Folks, feel free to spin the wheel. We got iPads, TVs, all sorts of gift cards. For those of you that are at home or in the car heading down here, get here soon. We'd love to give away all these prizes today, and we are going to be doing the iPad here in about 15 or 20 minutes. We're going to be doing that drawing. And if anybody out here has a real estate question, there's a mic right here. Get with some of our team members, and you can ask the question live on the air. Now, Wade, coming back to you, you guys, you're one of the top law firms in Central Florida, and you guys also deal and get asked a lot of real estate questions all the time. And you were mentioning in the break, one of the main ones you get asked all the time is, how can I save money on my realtor costs, or what do I do to sell my house?
Yeah, I was sharing, we do a lot of advertising, and we have clients on the weekends who send us what we call chat leads, asking us legal questions. And I got a chat lead this morning on the way to the show, and it was an older couple in Lake County wanting to sell their house. And the first thing they said is, we want to save money. So could we come in and talk to you as the attorney to draft the documents? And, the first thing I thought of is, you're not really going to save money. We as the attorney can help you draft your legal documents, but I can guarantee you, if you use a licensed real estate agent, they're going to help you get the highest and best price for the house.
And it's funny you shared that with me, because yesterday I was talking to so many people. It was incredible. And one of the questions, the lady said, well, her husband said, we're going to try it on our own first, and then depending on how that goes, we'll decide if we're going to hire an agent or not. And I said, listen, you want to be careful with that, because it's like a car. And I asked the lady, how much is a car that you own? She said $30,000. I said, how much is your home worth? About $280 or $240, somewhere in that range. So your house is worth 8 times as much as your car. But yet most people, when they go to sell a car, they clean it, they get it appraised, through Kelley Blue Book. They set it up, they detail it, they put it on Auto Trader, Cars.com, Craigslist, you name it. But when it comes to selling their single most important asset, they just kind of put a sign on the front yard and hope for the best.
And I see this. I asked them, what helped you determine the price you want to sell your house for? Well, my neighbor's house. And that's all they go by.
Or I need to get this in order to move here.
Right. And you could be leaving a lot on the table. So I definitely recommend, please come in. We'll be glad to help with any contract needs. But the first thing I'm going to encourage you to do is get with someone, get with Andre. Let them list your house. Let them get the highest and best price for the house.
That's right. Andre is the head coach, and he's got everybody together right now. Hey, Andre and Wade, we're going to be back in a few minutes. Let's catch up with news, traffic, and weather right here on News 96.5. All right, the hardest working guy in real estate is Andre Bustamante. You can ask Kennedy that. I'm telling you right now. But he has been busy all week lining up people like the BCN law firm, all of his inspectors, RP Funding, who I'm doing a lot of work for. It's just amazing the group that he put together for your benefit. When you go to the home show today, you're going to see every kind of home thing that you can make your home and life better. But this helps you get into the home, and that's where it all starts, because this is a combo show. I'm calling it the Expert All-Star Lineup, Andre Bustamante, and he can be reached at 888-785-0440, Andre with a Y, Bustamante.com. Also, co-anchoring from the home show today is our very good friend Wade Boyette, who's been a great friend of this community for a long, long time. Boyette, Cummins, and Nalos. Law 2020 is the name of his show, and 855-LAW-2020. 855-LAW-2020. Go down to the home show. It's a very cool deal. You're going to meet a lot of people, see a lot of cool contractors, and you're going to win maybe a TV, maybe an iPad by visiting the booth on the 100 aisle. That's where you're going to see the Andre Bustamante and Friends radio show happening right now. Andre, you got them all lined up, buddy.
Absolutely, man. We're having a blast out here, saying hello to everyone. Definitely lots of News 96.5 WDBO fans out here. So we're having a blast, and they do say that you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with. So I think with the all-star panel that we've assembled here, I think we're in good shape. So again, if anybody has a real estate question, a law question, if you're looking to buy, sell, refinance, anything, if we could help you save money on your home or auto insurance, that's really been huge out here, because that's the one thing that most people don't really, in my opinion, they don't really shop around for enough. And we've actually been able to help a lot of people out here this weekend, get them reintroduced to Florida insurance specialist, Challenge My Rate. If anybody's interested in saving money on their home or auto insurance, I encourage them right now, do it. Go to challengemyrate.com. You'll definitely thank me later for that. I know we've had a lot of friends and family that have done it and made me look good. So we have on the panel right now, Wade stepped out for just a second. We're getting some of his guests to come on the show here in a few minutes. But we have Christina Manning, my lead buyer's agent, and then we still have Mike from PJM Home Inspections. So, Christina, thanks for joining us. I know you guys have been working hard this weekend, so I appreciate everything you do.
Good morning, Andre, and good morning to all the listeners out there. This has been a fabulous time. It's been so exciting just to meet some of our clients and the listeners that are so loyal, that tune into the show every Sunday.
Now, what's you work primarily with buyers in the office. Tell us about the buying climate right now, if you will. What are some of the questions that you're having? How is the buying market? Are prices going up? Are they stabilizing? How are rates? Tell me about the buying environment right now.
Well, the buying market right now it's definitely picked up this first part of 2015. We've seen a huge influx of buyers that have really come into the market. And I guess the main question is rates. We closed out 2014, our last show. They were talking about interest rates and how they're expected to rise coming, in the middle towards the end of the year. And that's been one of the main questions. I guess rates are still low. It's
just
a good time
today,
to buy.
I actually saw that last week's 30-year average on Freddie Mac rates went down 3.66, and I know our friends over here at RP Funding, I mean, talk about saving you money and saving you thousands, the name of his show. If anybody's in the market to buy, these guys could save you a ton of money when it comes to a low rate. So rates are low. What else are you seeing out there?
Great inventory. There's a lot of selections to choose from. We are not the market. I know that you hear people talk about a buyer's market versus a seller's market, and what does that mean? And as I think you would agree with me that we're pretty much stable in the market. Buyers have a huge selection to choose from when it comes to finding their new home. So that's a really good thing.
I think more people have actually put their home on the market in the past couple of weeks, as we expected. So from a buyer's perspective, there's more inventory. which is nice.
Yes.
Because especially, I'm always in the market to buy. I work with a few referrals, personal, family, and friends, and trying to find them houses, it's tough, especially towards the end of the year. Not too many people put their houses on the market. But from a seller's perspective, and we'll talk to Will, our lead listing agent here in a few minutes, but I've seen a shift there. With more homes on the market, there's more competition.
Right. There is more competition. Florida still leads the state as far as the nation as far as cash sales. So there's some competition there. So that's why it's really important to, if you're looking to purchase a home, find a good realtor, find someone like myself. I'm a buyer's agent. I represent buyers only, and that's going to be really, really crucial whenever it comes to preparing your contract and moving forward with your home purchase.
Now, I always get this question: if a buyer's driving by, should they call and speak to the listing agent, or should they first sit down and speak to a buyer's agent and kind of go about it that way?
Well, I always warn my buyers, particularly first-time home buyers, I don't want you to get into a relationship with your agent by default, and what that means is you've called the agent on the sign, you've asked them to show you the property, and now all of a sudden they've somehow become your agent without you even choosing one. What we do is with my buyers particularly, I have them come into the office first. We sit down, we go over all the bumps that may occur during the transaction so that they're prepared. They can move forward in the sale with the confidence and knowledge they need to purchase their new home. So I recommend interviewing your agent just like you would if you were to sell your home.
Good. And it's just like hiring an attorney, folks, or a CPA or a doctor. You want to make sure that this person has experience, that they're full-time, that they've taken time out of their career to better themselves. So you want to see some business and personal development. You don't want necessarily someone that's green coming out. And, of course, everybody's got to start somewhere. I mean, we all started somewhere. But you got to be careful who you put your trust in, and especially when it comes to buying or selling real estate.
Hey, Andre?
Yes, sir.
You taught me early on why a buyer's agent is so important when you first introduced our audience to your staff, and one of them was the guy who's got his name in the sign on the front yard is representing the seller, trying to get as much money as he possibly can, and then you as a buyer's agent can come in and try to lower that price. Am I right?
Absolutely. You want to make sure that the agent that you're working with is actually working for you, not necessarily for two people at the same time and trying to be the middleman, a transaction broker. Now, Florida, everyone is labeled as a transaction broker, but ideally you want an agent that's working exclusively for you, that's trying to help you save as much money as possible, and that's the way we split up our team. We have listing agents and we have buyer agents. Nobody here works with one client on both ends of the deal, especially on the same transaction.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Hey, we're coming up on break time. I'm sorry, Andre. We're coming up on a break, and we're going to be back in about 3 or 4 minutes. Andre's going to take us to the top of the hour. He's got so many guests yet, but hey, we're not going anywhere. The home show goes all day today, and we are there with Andre Bustamante, Wade Boyette, and a host of others. So go down there, meet the experts, ask questions online. We want to thank our technical crew down there. They're doing a heck of a great job, and our utmost thanks to one and only guy that could put something like this together, and that is the hardworking Andre Bustamante. We will be back. And welcome back, the Andre Bustamante Show, and of course the Law 2020 Show, mixing it up, putting the best attorneys and putting the best loan people, the best mortgage people in RP funding, the best inspection people, and of course we've got Andre Bustamante. 888-785-0440, Andre with a Y, Bustamante.com. Wade Boyette of the BCN Law Firm with offices Winter Park, Claremont, Lakeland, and the Villages, BCNLawFirm.com. You can reach them at 855-LAW-2020, 855-LAW, that's 529-2020. Get on down to that home show and visit the booth in the 100 aisle. Win yourself an iPad. Win yourself like a 40-some-inch TV. Get with it. It'll be there. You can watch the big game next week, huh? And here he is, Andre Bustamante.
we're actually doing the drawing here in about 2 or 3 minutes for the iPad. So my team is actually getting that ready right now. See if you guys can line up the names as well, because I'd love to announce the name. We may have to announce the ticket number first, and then we'll look for the actual entry slip. I'll do that in 2 minutes. And Wade, you have a guest that's coming on your show here for the next hour. Let's talk about him.
I do. Jim Costello, a wonderful home builder. They're out in several communities in Central Florida, Oak Park, Blue Spring Reserve. I cannot wait till he gets to share some of his communities with you and some of his experience as a builder in Central Florida.
I'm excited to hear all about that. Mike, really quick, any last-minute things you want to tell our audience here when it comes to home inspection needs, any tips that you want to offer there?
One of the things we come across all the time in the home inspection business is buyers are shopping around for the right home inspection company. Many times they make a mistake. They think cheap is good. If you want quality, if you want experience, if you want 2 full-time master home inspectors, you need to contact PJM. And when you're ready, I have that phone number for you.
Good. Let's give out the phone number. Absolutely.
And the phone number to reach us, you could reach Paul. He's standing by. It's 321-228-3848. Or if you're into email, you could reach us directly at paul@pjm-inc.com.
Fantastic. Go ahead.
Andre, before I start checking out the rest of these incredible vendors over here, if I can get through these huge crowds, I think you just picked up 2 new listings a moment ago with Will. A gentleman came over and says, I'm selling 2 homes. And now Will's over there speaking with him right now.
Yeah, there are actually lots of people out here looking to do business, buying, selling, refinancing, saving money, on their home and auto insurance, and lots of people that are looking to buy obviously need to get a home inspection. Please, folks, I realize some of you may be buying cash. You still need a home inspection. I mean, that part is critical, as well as the appraisal, because those are 2 areas where you can save a ton of money. There's no reason to pay more for something when you don't have to. So, Mike, thank you so much for joining us. In a minute here, we're actually going to do the drawing. So back to you, Wade. Any other real estate related things that happen in your office? Let's talk about all the different specialties in law that you guys practice. That I am curious about.
Our firm is a full-service law firm, so we handle anything from real estate needs, family law needs, divorce, estate planning, personal injury. The gambit of legal needs we cover. The only areas we do not cover is intellectual property and immigration, but we work closely with firms who do provide those services. My background, I was a CPA, tax attorney, and real estate lawyer for 20-something years now. So I love the real estate area. I think it's amazing. It's wonderful to be able to sit down next to someone that has your experience and talk to you and do the show with you.
No, well, I appreciate you coming out and joining us here. When people ask me what I do, I'm a marketing expert, a business person second, and I happen to be in the real estate business. But when it comes to law and title and all that, that's not my specialty. But that's definitely why I look to align myself with people like yourself.
And I do appreciate it.
Now, you guys have multiple offices, as Rob mentioned, in different places. Let's talk about your offices and where they're located. And let's give out some websites and phone numbers for our audience listening back at home.
Absolutely. Our phone number real quick is 855-LAW-2020. Our website is bcnlawfirm.com. Our main office is in Clermont, Florida. I have 11 attorneys there, a large staff of about 30 paralegals and secretaries. We do have an office in the Villages up and running that's growing rapidly. We have a satellite office in Lakeland and a satellite office in Winter Park. We love Central Florida, so we're trying to cover the entire Central Florida community.
Absolutely, especially with the reach that you have with the station. I mean, people are listening to us all the way in Ocala, out by the beaches, so it helps having locations all over Central Florida.
It's amazing. I'm traveling now to Tampa, to Daytona, helping clients out that call in from the radio show.
Fantastic. What's the best number they can reach you guys?
855-LAW-2020 is the best number to reach us at.
Fantastic. And folks, with my team, we can help you buy or sell real estate all over the state. We're licensed, and we've been in business for more than 10 years. We can help you buy or sell real estate guaranteed. We have one main office in Central Florida. Our phone, but we can cover, like as I mentioned, all of Central Florida. We have different satellite offices that we can meet you at. 888-785-0440, or visit us online at andrebustamante.com. We're doing the drawing live right now. Can we get a drum roll? Is that possible?
Oh, I can do this. That's about it.
All right, good. All right, so I'm gonna pick one of these. All right, so this is ticket number, and this is for the free Apple iPad. It's beautiful. It's like 64 gig, I think it is. 3902339. So if your ticket number 3902339, you are the winner of the Apple iPad, brought to you by Andre Bustamante, RP Funding, Wade Boyette, and the rest of our sponsors here. So we're gonna try to get the name of this person. We have it written down in our entry forms. So if we don't have time right now, we're gonna announce it during the next hour, folks. We are live here at the Home and Garden Show. The show runs through 5 o'clock today. There's a lot of great booths, a lot of people. We got the winner. All right. So name Mary Rahuba, Rahuba, and she's from Palm Bay. So, Mary, congratulations. You're the winner of the iPad. Congratulations. So we're going to post this on our Facebook as well as our website, and let's call her, and it'd be nice if we can page her in for the show. Let her know she won the iPad. So really quick, 888-785-0440. We're here live at the Home and Garden Show. Wade Boyette, Mike, all of our sponsors, RP Funding, all you guys, thank you so much for participating, but don't go anywhere because we're coming right back with Law 2020.
All right, we will be back. We're coming up on news, traffic, and weather. We're coming back to the Home Show with our buddy Wade Boyette of the BCN Law Firm. And, of course, Andre will be chiming in, too. It's an all-star expert show at the Home Show. We'll be back. Hey, we continue to have fun right there at the big Home Show at the Orange County Convention Center. Well worth the price of admission. Head on down there. It's too cold to do anything else today, but you'll see some warm fireplaces and some spas and the newest things and gazebos, you name it. It's all down there. As well as John Tankersley, our buddy with the insurance company that beats them all. That's right, ChallengeMyRate.com. We have Wade Boyette of the BCN Law Firm, are the sponsor for this hour. And the BCN Law Firm has offices in Winter Park, Claremont, Lakeland, and the Villages. BCN, Boyette, Cummins, and Nalos. And you can call them 352-394-2103 or 855-LAW-2020, just like the commercial sings, 855-LAW-2020. And, of course, the guy that put all this together, Andre Bustamante, who's been working literally around the clock to make sure this all comes together today at the Home Show, and there's a team of people down there, AndreBustamante.com, that's with a Y, 888-785-0440. And we do want to thank our good friends who helped co-sponsor this, Saving Thousands with Robert Palmer. You heard his show this weekend on our sister station ESPN and right here on News 96.5. You can reach the RP Funding people. They're working today at 855-RP Funding. That's 855-773-8634. And they're standing by at the Home Show as well. And right now, let's introduce the host of this hour, and that is our very, very good friend and your attorney, Wade Boyette.
Hey, Rob, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I miss you, buddy.
I miss you too. Well, I probably will not see you next weekend. Super Bowl Sunday, I have to stay away.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be big, and I
makes
can't.
two of us.
I can't let you two go any more into your show about your great businesses without once again thanking Andre, thanking our salespeople, thanking our technical people for making this happen. But also, you're an expert in sports, Wade Boyette, and you are too, Andre. What do you think about this whole deflate thing? Is that just to keep the headlines on the Super Bowl? And I haven't seen one thing about Seattle all week.
Well, you have to have something to talk about for 2 weeks before the Super Bowl.
Gotta keep it in the
something
headlines.
has to keep airtime full.
He got to. Andre, what do you think?
I think the Colts would have lost regardless, man. You could. I saw something on Facebook. I think they said you could have given two footballs to the Colts, and they still would have lost. So I mean, the Patriots just kicked their butt. The Colts didn't even show up. So of course they're doing this to talk about something leading up to the game. I don't know. I'm going for the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm not a Patriots fan, but I respect what they've done. They're an amazing team, but I hope the Seahawks take it to them.
I think the biggest anticlimax is this Pro Bowl thing without the top 2 teams in it. I've never understood why they do that, because you've got 80 or 90 of the best players watching
They're
on
not
TV.
There.
Hey,
So
I loved it, though, Rob. It allowed my quarterback, Matt Ryan, from the Falcons to take Brady's place.
There you go.
Something good came out of it.
Hey, you've got a very special guest this hour, Wade, and you all are down there giving of your time and of your money and your expertise to help people at the home show, realize the dream that is owning a home. And if you don't own a home and you're paying rent, just think about that. There was an article that somebody was quoting yesterday that it's a $400,000 mistake over about 30 years. That you just keep paying the landlord, but you got nothing to show for it at the end of 40 years. So you got to buy a house, right, Wade?
Absolutely, and I do. I have a very special guest today, a friend of mine, Jim Costello, and he and his partner, Jerry Miller, own J&J Building, an amazing home construction company. They do custom building. And I wanted to bring Jim on today to talk to the audience about some of his communities that he's working in. One, I wanted to introduce him to Andre because I think there's a lot of opportunities there. Mm-hmm. But they're doing 2 beautiful communities, one in Oakland Park and one in Blue Spring Reserve. And if you've never been out to Blue Spring Reserve, it's some of the best, most beautiful country you'll see. It's incredible. But I'd like Jim to say a few things about his communities.
Thank you, Wade. Jerry and I have been partners in J&J since the mid-1980s. Jerry founded it with his dad, also named Jerry, and that's kind of got the initials. And when his dad decided to retire, I sort of slid in as the second J in the 1980s. And we built, got our origins down in the Fort Lauderdale area, Boca Raton, West Palm Beach area, and we moved up here in the late 1990s to Orange County. I'm a resident of Oakland, so is Jerry. And we've been building communities since 2000. Currently, we're based in Oakland Park, which is a crescent community, traditional neighborhood located in Winter Garden. Half the community will be located in Winter Garden, and the future phases will spill over into Oakland. The beautiful little oak line hammock out there on the south shore of Lake Apopka in a up-and-coming Winter Garden community that's really changed dramatically in the last 10 to 15 years. They've gotten a lot of good leadership out of local government and done quite a bit to attract a real vibrant downtown. So it's an attractive community right on the West Orange Trail, which is a huge draw. People can come right out of their garages and use the trail. It gets tremendous use. Their plans are to extend the trail all the way up into Apopka and eventually encircle the whole Lake Apopka region there with over 100 miles of trails. So that's our primary community, traditional neighborhood, old Florida vernacular style, craftsman style, some Spanish colonial, but very distinctive front porch living, real family-oriented, but not just family. There's a great mixture and diversity of folks and age groups that are moved into that area. Price point starts in the mid-400s and goes up with some lakefront properties up near $1 million. But really unique community, very similar to what you might have seen in the early years of Celebration or some of the product that was offered in Baldwin Park.
I'm looking at these pictures right now. You actually have an inventory home. What community is this? Oakland Park. That thing is stunning.
Yeah, that's a Spanish colonial model, about 3,700 feet. I believe it's listed at around $640,000. Spectacular views over Lake Brim, 2-story porch with fireplaces on each level. Really a great value at that price point for all the amenities that are in it. And it was our former model. We're getting ready to construct a new model, so we put that up for sale.
So that one's for sale. Do you guys have any other properties currently built out, or are they to be built out once people put down their deposits?
Generally, we're building, because we're a custom home builder, we're generally building with a pre-sale contract.
True, okay.
We do occasionally build a spec home, but that's not our bread and butter these days. So generally we're working with a client that's coming in and helping them design, build, and take it forward from there, put their financing in place with construction perm lending or whatever other vehicle they like to use, but it is a construction perm vehicle from our standpoint. And building it out at that, taking it further and building it. It's about a 8 to 12 month process depending on the size of the home and et cetera. The actual construction time about 5 to 9 months, and then the design build or design permit time's about 3 months.
And these are your lots, but you could also build on other lots. You could build on their lots as well outside of these communities.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably 50% of our business is that type of on your lot building, with a true custom client comes in and has a lot, may have a plan, or may want to start and develop a plan, either in using one of ours as a core plan or starting from scratch. We've started plans on the back of a napkin and ended up building it. And built my own home that way. My wife designed the home on a napkin, and we built it. But
nice.
It works. We're very flexible. That would be it, and we're certainly interested in building on other people's lots outside our communities.
And it's nice to find that in a custom builder, because most of them will say, yeah, we're a custom builder, but they really try to steer you down certain paths. But you seem like a great, easygoing guy. Like when it comes to flexibility, if somebody wants to change something, I doubt that would be an issue with you guys. I mean, I'm sure you'd love to accommodate to clients and turn that vision into a reality.
Well, that's really, you'll see custom used quite liberally by a lot of builders.
Yeah.
But it's not, the true custom experience is all about choice and all about change. And a lot of builders, that can mean a lot of things to builders in terms of complexity of the build. So a lot of builders will put restrictions on you, and they're really not truly custom builders. You have to be willing to get in there and immerse yourself with a client, feel their vision, feel their dream, and try to deliver that. And that means change, and it means choice.
Hey, guys.
Multiple changes throughout.
We got to take a break right now. I want to ask when we come back about this whole trend of Northerners moving down here, moving into those nicer two-story houses. When I first moved to Florida in the 70s, you didn't see many two-story houses in Florida. Now they're popping up everywhere. We'll talk about that, custom homes. We'll talk to Wade Boyette on legal questions. You got legal questions, give us a call in studio at 855-297-9696. Questions about real estate. The Andre Bustamante is there, and we've got a whole team of people. We'll introduce everybody when we come back right after this break on News 96.5. You're listening to a 2-hour special from the Orlando Home Show at the Orange County Convention Center. What a great afternoon, a good family outing where you can get great ideas to improve your home, to buy a home, to sell a home, insure a home. Maybe it's a pool you're looking for, maybe it's a spa, but you've got to go down the 100 aisle. You'll see that each aisle is labeled 100, 200, 300, like that. Go down that aisle and you will see Wade Boyette of the BCN Law Firm. And you can always reach them during the week or actually weekends, too. You never know when you might need a lawyer at 855-LAW-2020, 855-529-2020. Wade Boyette has offices in Winter Park, Claremont, Lakeland, and the Villages. Boyette, Cummins, and Nalos. That is the name of the firm, BCNLawFirm.com. This whole cavalcade, I call it the All-Star Expert lineup, was put together by the one and only Andre Bustamante, and that kind of shows you the strength of Andre in this community, because when you go to buy a house or sell a house, you're getting a lot more than just Andre Bustamante. You're getting an entire team that he has put together, and that also includes the very good people who we're talking to right now who are building custom homes, JJ, and don't forget, when you want to finance a home, you can always go to RP Funding, one of the sponsors, at 855-RP Funding, 855-773-8634. No upfront lender fees, and they can give you the best deal in town with a $1,000 guarantee, no doubt about that. And they are proud to be back on News 96.5. Robert couldn't make the show today. He had a prior commitment, but he does have people from RP Funding at the show. So let's get back to Wade Boyette. And I was asking the question, isn't it neat the way we're now getting these two-story custom homes just like you have up north?
It is, and I had the privilege, Rob, of actually living in a one-story house that J&J built, which was an unbelievable home. It was a home in Johns Lake over in Oakland, and it's almost impossible to find a larger home that's just one story, and it was unbelievable. But I know now the trend seems to be building two-story homes. The community that they're building in Oakland Park, if you could imagine going back in time into a sustainable community, it's unbelievable. With the wraparound porches, just a feeling that you feel like you're going home when you drive into that community. It is unbelievable.
That is so nice. And, I'm liking that. Let's return to the old days of the wraparound porch and lots of windows. So we do have months where you can open the windows on the front and the back and kind of get that nice Florida breeze through there. And, in the communities like Oakland, you're talking about old Florida. You still got the big Spanish moss. You got all that going on. It's really beautiful country out there.
Absolutely. I want to say thanks again to Andre for putting this on. I know, the listeners really don't usually have an image of what we're like, but, sitting here with Andre for an hour and a half now, his energy is off the charts. I mean, if you want to get out and have someone sell your home, this guy's energy is amazing.
Well, I tell you what,
want to give him a call.
I tell you what, to speak to Andre's, his full vision, I know for a fact he was up till 11:30 or 12 last night still putting the finishing touches on this because he and I were in communication. So, I mean,
yeah, we were.
We're talking about, I've got the utmost respect for this guy because there's nothing he cannot do. Because I didn't think he could put all these experts together in one stage at one time. But he sure pulled it off.
Yeah, I was getting text messages, but I had the privilege of going to the Monster Jam last night.
Oh.
And you cannot hear a thing when you're at that show. I mean, that was unbelievable.
Let me do my best impression. What we're having today at the home show is a Monster Jam of experts. Headed up by Andre Bustamante. All right, guys.
That was really, really good, Rob. No, man, but I didn't go to sleep at 11. I go to sleep like at 2 o'clock in the morning every night.
You work 24 hours a day.
You got to do whatever it takes, man,
There
to
you go.
positively impact people's lives.
All right.
Well, Rob, I would like, if I could, have Jim talk about some of the things he's been doing in downtown Orlando also. Been building some amazing custom homes down there. When the real estate market went down, the trend was for a lot of the builders, they would go in and buy older homes in Orlando, tear down the older homes and do new construction, or refinish some of the older homes. And they have a lot of experience in that area also.
All right. That's very, very cool. So tell us about that, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Wade. We get a lot of the inspiration for the communities in Blue Spring and Oakland Park from the downtown communities. You go through Delaney Park, Oakland Park, Thornton Park, all the parks, Winter Park, etc. in downtown Orlando. And the bones of those homes tended to be on narrow lots, long back to front, with front porch living. And those style characteristics that you saw in the colonial revival period, the craftsman period, the Spanish colonials, those types of vernaculars are where we've gotten this inspiration for the Oakland Park community and other communities like it throughout the country. We're not the only community, obviously. Blue Spring has the same type of vernaculars that are offered, although they're on 1 to 11 acre lots, so it's a little different type of product, but the same inspiration. And we got started in the mid-2000s as the subdivision business slowed down and went in and started taking down lots, recognized the value and the interest of people in living close to transportation, close to work in those older communities, and they got a tremendous boost and revival actually from the downturn with that interest that was developed. And that really sustained us through 7 years as the new home construction started to pick back up in the last 3 or 4 years. But we made our bones working in those communities and getting familiar with the construction techniques that we now employ in the other communities, Blue Spring and Oakland Park.
I think it's magic in Central Florida especially that we have the vibrant downtown that we have with all the life and Lake Eola and all that sort of thing, and the beautiful construction you're doing down there and the renovations of some of the older properties. And yet, if somebody wants to move out in the countryside, they have that luxury as well. And with the Beltway going around, this seems to be like a trend. You want to be downtown and be right in the middle of everything, or do you want to be out and about in the countryside? I think that's a fabulous, fabulous way the Central Floridians live.
It is. And, Rob, this being a legal call-in show, I get calls on a weekly basis. First, I'm very privileged and thankful. Jim's son, Ken Costello, is actually one of the attorneys in our office.
Really?
So he handles a lot of our real estate needs, a lot of our foreclosure, an amazing attorney that we have in the office. And, so I'm very connected with the Costello family. I mean, they're amazing, amazing people. But, one of the things, we get calls all the time. Ken will get a call, I'll get a call about people who are upset with their home builder. They've entered into a construction contract. A lot of times they've entered into a construction contract with someone who is not a custom builder, but they still want that custom feel, and then they end up getting upset, and there's problems, and they, come to us as the attorney to do something about it. I can tell you, and I've been in the Claremont area practicing for 20 years. I've watched J&J building through the years, and I've never had a phone call where any client has been upset with them through the process.
Wow.
And it's absolutely the contrary. Homeowners, they're very excited. If something needs to be done, Jim and Jerry are usually there to back them up, to walk them through a process, because it can be trying.
Hey, Wade, we got to take a break for news, traffic, and weather, and I'm going to come back after the break. I want to ask you about if people are entering into an agreement with a custom builder, can they bring that to you and have you represent them through the entire process? And hopefully they'll go with J&J, and they won't have to worry about all this, but still good to review everything so everybody's on the same page. We'll take a break. We'll give you phone numbers and contact when we come back after news, traffic, and weather. There you go. Yeah, great music. This is Law 2020 and kind of a co-sponsored show right now with our very good friend Andre Bustamante. And you can get a hold of the BCN law firm, Winter Park, Claremont, Lakeland, and the Villages at this number, 855-529-2020. You can sing it, 855-LAW-2020. There you go. No, I don't sing. And Wade Boyette is standing down at the home show along with Andre and others. We want to thank Andre Bustamante for putting all this together. 888-785-0440, AndreBustamante.com. That's with a Y. You hear Barbara Corkin. You hear all these experts like Sean Hannity talk about him. And somebody else that's all over the news and all over the town, and that is our good friend Robert Palmer. You're saving thousands with Robert Palmer at 855-773-8634, 855-RP Funding. All right, we're talking to J&J Builders. They build custom homes, and they do some downtown projects as well as the projects out in the beautiful Oakland area. But I got to ask Wade, as our attorney of record and the sponsor of this show, Wade, it's probably very, very complicated when you're looking at a purchase of a home document, which you guys do very well in helping home buyers make sure everything is right. But I'm wondering about a document on a home that is being designed, and you got the architectural drawings, you got a timeline, you got draws from the bank, you got all this going on, but it would seem to me as a layman that every sentence would have to be things like, Corian countertops and wood floors and what kind of tile and what the entrance is going to look like and what is the width of the driveway. And my goodness, it'd have to be so terribly complicated.
It doesn't have to be complicated, but there has to be good communication. And when we look at contracts as the attorney, what I tell them is we just have to make sure what you're really wanting is clear. It's not like going out and buying a house where usually you're dealing with a pretty standard FAR/BAR contract. When you're building a custom home, the key thing is great communication between the builder and the client, and make sure all the thoughts are put down on paper where it's clearly understood.
That, I guess so. That'd have to be it. But you've done a lot of this over your years in the Claremont area because there's so many of us, you included, and me and Andre. We remember when we first started out around here that Claremont was all orange trees. That's why that big tower's there. Now all you see is beautiful homes as far as the eye can see and some very successful people.
It's amazing. And, one thing, Rob, it's funny, and Andre, Jim will say, when I first moved to Claremont, you felt like you were out, away from Orlando. Claremont now is just a 20-minute drive from downtown. I leave my house. I spend a lot of time in Orlando, and from my front door Downtown Orlando is 20 minutes. I mean, we're not now out in the country in the middle of nowhere. We're a next-door neighbor to Orlando.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Our friends used to say, hey, we're moving out to Claremont, and we're like, what are you guys doing? I mean, you're moving from the city all the way out to Claremont, and it used to take us like an hour to get to their house. Right. But now you have all these highways and the 429? 420, I was about to say 419. 429, 408, 528. I mean, we do business all over Central Florida. And my main office is in South Orlando, but again, I'm in downtown half the time. I'm in Maitland half the time, Lake Mary, Claremont, Howey in the Hills. And we're literally like half an hour to everything, it seems like.
It's amazing. A lot of the communities, Winter Garden, for example, I spend at least usually one night a weekend there. Amazing restaurants, amazing feeling. Some of these small communities are really making a push and they're becoming the next Winter Park.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Well, what is really cool,
I'm very happy with the growth. And you're nailing it right now because it's becoming that next Winter Park. There's a lot of growth on the east side of town, but on the west side, I have close friends of mine that live in Winter Garden, and they love it out there.
Well, one of the things, too, that I like is that when you are coming into Central Florida to buy a home, and we're probably into the home resale period in Claremont because some of those homes now are going 10 to 15 years of longevity, and they're ready for homeowner number 2. But the thing is, we've all moved from somewhere, and we remember living in, like I used to live in the Lake of the Ozarks. I always sought out the council, especially of attorneys and realtors that were well established in the area. And Wade, can you tell us a little bit about your law firm and Mr. Cummings and all these people? They helped build Central Florida.
Absolutely. Like you said earlier, when I first came to town, it was a lot of orange groves. I think we had a 20-bed hospital in the middle of downtown Claremont. The main restaurant in town was the Clock. Which if you're old Florida, it was like a breakfast restaurant, like a Denny's. Now I look around, there's rooftops everywhere, national restaurants, private restaurants, arts, entertainment. It's absolutely unbelievable. One of the attorneys in our office, Norm Cummings, he's been in the Lake County area for over 40 years. So he's really seen the growth. It's really unbelievable.
Well, what's really cool out there, too, we talked about J&J, and we talked about downtown or out in the suburbs. You can go to Claremont and drive 6 miles north and be in, Mineola? And a little farther north and you're up in Howey in the Hills. I mean, what a beautiful area of Florida this is.
5 or 6 minutes, you're in Oakland or Winter Garden. I mean, it's pretty centralized.
Really loving it. So what are some of the big things that are happening right now law-wise? I know we've started a new year, and that's usually when we see, sadly enough, a lot of dissolutions of marriage.
We do. Since we're here at the Home and Garden Show, Andre mentioned it earlier. December was a little bit of slowdown in real estate. But, it's funny. I've been doing this long enough where, my staff will start getting nervous around December. They'll say, wait, a contract hasn't come in. Our closing board is looking slow. And I tell them, quit worrying about it. Enjoy it. It will get busy again. January hits and the board lights up again. So, what I've seen in January are people are out there looking again. They're trying to look for a new home. They're meeting with home builders like J&J. They're calling Andre. They're looking to either buy a house, sell a house. So the real estate market is really getting hot right now again in January.
Well, wait, really quick. Have you seen – sorry, Rob. Have you seen that the divorce percentage has increased as more equity has been found? Property values have increased?
Good question. Oh, absolutely. Here's what happens. People either get divorced when they're broke or when they're wealthy.
Yeah.
It's when you start losing money, the stress causes you a lot of havoc, and you end up getting divorced because of the stress of not having money. When you start making money, then you got a little bit of money in your pocket. It gives you that comfort level that if I get divorced, I'll be okay. So, yeah, it's usually and we're seeing with the economy turn around, there's been quite a big uptick in divorces.
Cool. Because I had seen an article about that people were holding off because they couldn't really go anywhere. They were stuck in this short sale, so I figure let's wait until the property value picks up. We'll split up whatever equity is left, and then we could start our own separate lives.
It is sad but true. Yeah. I'd hate to be, being in a miserable relationship would be a tough thing, or being in a relationship that you felt you had to stay in.
Well, I tell you, you are so right, Andre and Wade, when you talk about home sales picking up. I've been spending about 3 days a week in the RP Funding Studios out in Maitland, and I see those mortgage officers out there seeing people all day, well into the night. people coming in after work saying, I want to get a mortgage, I want to get going. So it's really unbelievable. We're coming up toward another break, and want to make sure Dave Wohl's in the newsroom, and I think he is. And we're going to take a break, so then we'll have a long segment coming back as we are making history today with a 2-hour live from the home show all-star thing. And we want to thank Andre, we want to thank Wade Boyette of giving of their time, their money, their expertise to show up on this great Sunday and do this remarkable broadcast. I am honored to be a part of it. I love these guys, and I love working for them and News 96.5. We'll take a break right now. You got a question for our panel, 855-297-9696, 855-297-9696. We'll be back. It's an all-star Ask the Expert show at the home show. They always bring in all these TV stars from the do-it-yourself networks. Well, we have filled up, thanks to Andre Bustamante, we filled up the convention center with the experts from right here in Central Florida. That's worth the price of admission right there, 855-297-9696. You can call us. Andre and company will be there until 5 o'clock. Wade Boyette is down there, and this is the Law 2020 side of things with our good friend Wade Boyette. Offices of the BCN, that's Boyette, Cummins, and Nalos, Winter Park, Claremont, Lakeland, and the Villages. BCNlawfirm.com. 855-LAW-2020. That's 855-529-2020. Andre Bustamante is 888-785-0440. AndreBustamante.com. And you can get RP funding at 855-773-8634. 855-RP funding. Andre and Wade, you guys are giving away a big screen TV. Can you just bring it over here to the studio? Just put it in my car.
you got to enter to win, Rob.
Man.
We've already given away the iPad. The lady's actually coming in later on to pick it up, but we still have the TV. We're going to be giving that away. Now, the way that works is you can sign up right until 5 o'clock. We'll leave here probably at 5 o'clock on the dot. We'll announce the winner on next Sunday's radio show. So that means I got to go on Super Bowl Sunday. Okay, that's okay. I'll be there. So we'll announce the winner next Sunday's show, and then we'll go from there. I just want to say thanks to Wade, thanks to Jim for being here, for allowing me to be part of your show, and for being part of my show earlier, for being part of this wonderful home and gardening event. I want to thank RP Funding for being our booth co-sponsor. Also want to thank Wade on that. Want to thank Leslie Zimmerly with Oliver and Quinones, Lou Oliver, RP Funding, PJM Home Inspections, Challenge My Rate, and Brian Watkins with AccuShirt. All of our partners for allowing us to make this thing happen. And our goal is to be here. There's another event, I think it's in March, to come out and do it bigger and better. So thank you guys for participating.
Wow.
Yeah, Rob, it's amazing. This is such a privilege to sit here with Andre. I'm very thankful that Jim gave up his time on a Sunday to come out here, give up time with his family to do the show with us. It's been a pleasure. The group of guys here and the team that's out here is unbelievable. If anyone has any needs, legal needs, building needs, real estate needs, mortgage needs, they're covered.
Yeah, whatever you need, homeowners insurance, appraisals, inspections. We'll be here all day, folks, to answer any of your questions. So the show crew will probably pack up in the next 30 to 45 minutes, but we will be here to help you guys out. And I'll turn it over to Wade and Jim. I know if you guys want to talk more about or give out more details in regards to these awesome communities you're building out in Lake County.
Well, I just want to thank Jim. And we did hit Jim talked quite a bit about Oakland Park, an amazing community. He talked about downtown Orlando, but one community they do have, Blue Spring Reserve, didn't speak a lot about that, but if you want to go back in time, if you wanted to have a pet alligator, there's the lot you need to buy. I mean, there is. You can go out there in the backyard. You're in old Florida. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat community. It's a gated community right off the turnpike with less than a mile access, 35 minutes from downtown Orlando, which people find hard to believe, but it's true. Driving the speed limit, Wade.
Yes.
But 1 to 11 acres, every backyard opens to the preserve. Old Florida vernacular houses, metal roofs, front porches, siding, mixed with a lot of different elements of design that make it really unique. Every home's unique. One road, long and winding road, takes you back through a 63-lot community. with the moss-draped oaks. It's just a spectacular community, close to Orlando, yet a great remote feel. One little point I didn't bring out is we are a Florida Green builder. We're a member of the Florida Green Building Coalition. We're one of the few builders in the Orlando area that have been awarded the Platinum Building Award for a home. You can earn bronze, silver, gold, or platinum. Every home we built has been at least a gold. We're very proud of that. We use sustainable products, low volatile compounds, glues, paints, all on the healthy side, and we make a strong effort to make the home as energy efficient as possible.
I encourage everybody to check them out. We actually did this right now because I wanted to familiarize myself with J&J Building. So I encourage everybody, go right now, jnjbuilding.com. And he has a bunch of stuff there, all of his properties, all of his inventory, and talks about some of his communities. Definitely top-notch builder. And I'm glad I got a chance to meet you here, Jim. And hopefully the day I go to build my big custom home, I'll be calling you.
Well, please do. It doesn't have to be big either.
I like big.
We start really, our typical customers coming in now. A lot of them are downsizing. They think they're looking in that 2,500 to 3,000 foot range, and our bucket now has gone from 5,000 plus to we're a 2,500 foot to a 4,500 foot builder. I didn't mention earlier, we do have 2 homes that we just recently completed that are available for sale in Winter Park too. I forgot to mention those.
Hey, let's talk about it.
2,500 foot home, beautiful. 2-story lot. One of them's kind of a modern vernacular. The other one's a Craftsman, but they're both for sale in the mid 500s. Outstanding appointments. Really great location in Orwin Manor, right there off of Mills Avenue, where a lot of stuff's happening. Sure. But I give our contact number 407 654 8464. We'll get you into the sales line for J&J, and check out our website, www.jjbuilding.com.
Well, and Rob, it's just a pleasure. You know, Andre does this on a regular basis. I'm trying to do it. Bring in guests to come in that can really offer our listeners something. You know, we try to surround ourselves with the best, so we try to bring the best out to our customers. I know in a couple of weeks, I've got some guys that I was with last night, GT Marine. You know, a lot of people were call in. We do a lot of gun trust in our law office. You know, people collect guns. I'm going to have those guys come on the show in a couple of weeks. It's really neat what you can offer people. Mm-hmm.
It's really becoming a big thing, this gun trust thing. And until 3 weeks ago, I'd never heard of it. But for the sportsman, the avid sportsman, or the shooter that wants to go out to some of these ranges, you almost have to have it. And I know a lot of doctors now, your clients are getting these gun trusts because for them to have, let's say, a silencer, they've got to have that, but they want a silencer so they don't disturb their neighbors when they're out there shooting. So it's quite a neat deal, man. So we're down to less than a minute. You guys want to give your goodbyes, and I cannot wait to see you guys in person.
Absolutely, Rob. We'll see you next week for sure. And for Super Bowl Sunday edition of our shows, hopefully I can convince Wade to be there. If not, I'll hold down the station with you, Rob. I appreciate everybody coming out. Folks, we'll be here until 5 o'clock today, so come out. We got a bunch of fun prizes you could win, on top of the fact that you could win the TV. iPad has already been won by someone, and she's coming out later. Guys, thank you so much. Wade, name and phone numbers for your firm.
Easy, 855-LAW-2020 or BCNlawfirm.com. And Jim, what's your number again?
Try 407-614-8793 or 407-495-6484.
And Rob, what's your prediction next week?
I'm saying for the game. I'm not really sure yet, but I'm kind of leaning towards Seattle. They've been out of the news, and they've been practicing hard. So guys are going to have to wrap it up. We've got Dave Wall looking through the glass at me with a glaring stare. Hey, the Talon Wealth Management people are up next.